I mean, okay.
I can't. She said that crucifix up good too.
Nice.
I was in Turtle and she was just like.
Do you have the login in front of you? You never have to ask for it ever again. Okay.
Snagged it up and
Ninja Chrissy. I need to get some killer instinct.
We got 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. Yeah, he was able to make it here tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Just girlfriend, she did that one night.
He was here at noon.
What's her mom?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, she did?
Nice.
He's like, oh shit, we're live. Hey, what's up, guys? Are we ready to go live? I'm in. Or are you too busy?
We're just gonna take. We're just waiting for people to start in the chat window.
What's up? Okay. All right. So, hey, what's up, guys? Thanks for coming out. I'm Coach Mikhail of Cerebral BJJ, and it's Coach Ty. Actually, just this last weekend, got his purple belt after leg locking. Oh, nice. After leg locking everybody inside of this blue belt shootout, which was blue belts from all over Texas coming around, and leg lock after leg lock after leg lock. We're gonna be doing leg lock. I think next week. We're gonna be going over some my patented like leg lock poker stuff, right? How to use that to go like inverted leg locks and all that kind of stuff. But today, the subject we're gonna be focusing on, leg lasso attacks. I just gave a really awesome seminar this past weekend about it, and blew a bunch of people's minds. A lot of high-level guys were there, and they like some of the options I'm doing. It's not the normal leg lasso, but I can show you better than I can tell you, right? While you guys are there, if you can, inside your chat window, leave a message for whatever leg lasso submission or leg lasso issues that you're dealing with, then I can make sure that I get that communicated to me and I can answer it. Sounds good? All right, let's get started. All right, so in this situation, let's first talk about entry into the leg lasso. All right, when we talk about entry, let's talk about what most people do. All right, what most people do inside the leg lasso. Let's switch around. All right, so what most people do inside the leg lasso, or in like pretty much any spider guard, right? Hey, guys, we can down a little bit. Right. So what most people do inside any kind of spider guard technique, right? They throw both legs up, right, at the same time. Boom. Right? It's wrong. Don't do this. Don't do this anymore. It's a horrible idea. He can just bring his elbow in, right, and shuck my leg off, right? And now I'm in trouble, right? Instead, right, I want you to make sure you get off the side and create a brace, right? So how I create that brace, at first, he's getting grips of my legs, I'm getting grips of his arms. He should be getting grips of my legs, first of all, because that's what's in between him and passing my guard. That's what he needs to control, right? If you haven't already identified that, what should I be doing? What should I be playing with? How do I enter? How do I pass? Then you should be thinking his legs. Ty should be thinking he needs to control my legs and get control of my hips so that he can pass. Inversely, when he's controlling my legs, he's giving me his arms, giving me his hands, right? This is an awesome opportunity for me to start to consolidate my position. Now that I have control of his hands, look, in this situation, we have E, my thumb in, boom. Now I'm going to come out to my side, put my foot, heel into his hip, boom, and I kind of swing out. Now I'm on my side. So important, guys. So important I'm on my side, because now when he tries to use his elbow, right, to get me off, right? Now it's not happening. It's me all day, right? Now as he does that, my leg is going to come over, boom, and then loop. Again, I'm going to come over, loop, right? Now some people they haven't studied all the different styles of leg lasso, right? So they just know one leg lasso, whatever one their coach taught them. I've been doing leg lasso for a long time, training with a bunch of awesome guys who are like, this is their specialty, right? Some guys, when they lasso, they like to go really deep, right? Real deep, knee deep, right? And that's okay, I guess, if you're trying to get like wicked control and stop him from moving. I don't want you to stop moving in the leg lasso. I want to allow you enough movement so you can walk into my trap, right? It's really important. I want you to walk into my trap. So boom, for me, I leave my ankle, my instep, inside of your armpit, right? It's really important. All right. Now, as I do that, let's go back. Boom. All right. Now I'm here. I'm gonna make sure I get this. I keep your hand inside of my arm, inside of my hip, right? And I make sure I keep my elbow. Boom. Tighten my body. Right. Now everything is gonna be happening over here now. Boom. So now that I'm here, let's talk about this invisible jiu-jitsu, right? The invisible jiu-jitsu, everybody shows like techniques, like, oh, step A, I do this, step B, I do this, step C, I do this, right? But what about the counter pressure, like this invisible thing that people just tell you have to get from experience, right? I don't think that you just have to get it from experience, although experience helps. I think that it can also be communicated. And very often in my experience, I found out that it's counter pressure. So the invisible jiu-jitsu, this mystical thing, right, is intellectualized counter pressure. Okay? How do I keep you in one spot? How I guide you somewhere? Inside the leg lasso, the counter pressure is my knee going outward so I can tend my partner in that direction. I'm not going to tend them all the way over so he can get thrown over and fall on his back, because it's not going to happen, right? He's going to tend that way, and then you're going to give him a guard pass on accident. And that's not going to be great, right? So what I'm going to do here, right, is open up just that much, right? Now I've opened up. Here's my leg lasso, right? There's a tendency to come here. Inversely, guys, if my knees collapse right here, if I go the other way, he can bring my legs together and pass my guard. I have found in jiu-jitsu that things happen in windows, right? It's a really important concept. There's like a Goldilocks zone for anything, right? And in this situation, if I'm going this way, I'm too cold, right? And bring my knees together. Don't bring your knees together inside of a guard situation. That's what I want to do as the passer, right? Also, inversely, if I bring it too far this way, I'll start to tip over, right? This is not good either. You want to stay in the middle, smart place. Boom. By the way, when I do this, look how I extend my leg out. Boom, I'm extending him, right? So he's off balance. Boom, here I am. Let's talk about some like low-level good stuff, submissions from the leg lasso, all right? So the leg lasso is a really tricky position, right? And by tricky, I mean there's a bunch of traps there, right? His arm is trapped inside, but if I let go of this hand, boom, it makes him free to start passing. Look how I set this leg underneath. Boom. There's my bicep splicer right there. Let's go back, do that again. Guys, I eat lunch with other black belts with this bicep splicer. Because what do most jiu-jitsu practitioners think that they should do, right? They think that right now, oh man, I'm free, I should pass, I should pass, I should pass, right? I used to give them a couple kicks, right, like pushes, so that I sell it to them, right? Like, oh, this guy's trying to fight, and all of a sudden I beat him. Good, it's passing time. No, boss, you didn't beat me, I set you up, right? But I have to kind of make it feel like there was a barrier there, right? So again, here we are. Boom, right? Here I am, I'm in my position. I'm opening, we're moving. Wait, it's very important. I'm gonna let go with this hand, right? And either he beats it or I let my foot off of his hip. I bring my knees in and my hand underneath his shoulder. I'm still holding on. You can triangle, guys. It's an option. You don't have to triangle like I'm doing right here, but you can. It's a great idea. Now that I'm here, I can let go, gable grip, and send my hips up and my knee out. My hips up and my knee out. Boom. Look at my hips going up. Look at my knee going out. Boom. Does that make sense? Anybody have questions about that? It's called a log cutter or log splitter. For you guys at home, notice, look where his hand is still. All right? Let's come this way. All right? Look at his arm inside the assembly. Right? Boom. Here I am. For you high-speed guys who are competing and then log cutter, like bicep splicers are not allowed, right? I have other options that are available from the same position. Tap, tap. Boom. Right? Well, he's trying to get the other arm out. Get your other arm out. Tap, tap. Boom. I have a reverse arm lock. Right? That's not going to get me DQ. He's still going to feel the pressure from the splicer, but it's going to be the arm lock that's going to finish him. Right? And even still, the ref won't know. Right? So, in this situation, do anybody have any questions so far about that log splitter, log cutter, or bicep splicer? Anybody need to see it again?
Just tell them if they have questions. Type them into the
Yeah, if you guys have any questions, this is interactive, so you can just type them into the chat box, right? And I'll answer any question you guys have, right? I want to give back to the community, and I just like here in Austin, Texas, I don't like to just teach a class. I like to start a conversation, right? Sometimes it relies on your feedback. So, any questions you guys have at any time, any point, let me know. Yeah, don't be shy. It's just jiu-jitsu, right? All right. So, we talked about setting up that log splitter. All right. Now, there's other options that are available from that same posture position. In fact, for this situation, I'm going to turn this way, so I'm not really facing you, right? So you can see what's happening. Look, I'm breaking this grip. Boom. I'm going inside. Now, I have found that sometimes I've got really big guys that I'm rolling with, and doing this against really big guys can still be a problem if I start getting flattened out. Not fun, right? So here I am in the situation. I'm going to let go again, right? But as I let go with his foot, I'm going to bring my instep to the other side. See this foot? I'm letting go, bring my instep to the other side. Now I'm going to pull myself underneath his body as he passes. Start passing. Boom. Right? Now I'm underneath his body. Because my knee and my foot went to the instep right here, now I can rest him on me. Boom. And get up. I always make sure I block his head and block his hip. Boom. And there we go again. Let's do it from the top. All right? So here we are. Boom. Here I am underneath. Right? I'm going to let go. All right? I'm going to move my foot to my instep to his hip. And as he approaches, I'm going to bend my knee. Boom. So I can stay underneath him. Right? See how I'm underneath? Boom. Now he's shelved. He's resting on my legs. I can attack this leg. Look, he's off the ground, guys. Boom. All right? Now that I'm here, what do I do next? Right? Just pretend like he's a side mount. I'm going to block his head, block his hip. There's my sub. If subs aren't allowed in the tournament you're doing, you can get here. Look, he's not tapping. I just raise my hips, and I let his arm out. 100% legit. Don't ever feel like, oh, splicers aren't allowed, so I can't do leg lasso. I had somebody try to lie to me and feed me that load when I was like a blue belt. And later on, I found out I could do them to my heart's content, and it was really upsetting, right? So don't let anybody, you're not going to get DQ'd as long as you don't turn on the actual splicer. 2 questions?
Oh, 2 comments. Mike Bushby says, not sure how many people are here, but loving it so far.
Sweet. Thanks, Mike. Glad to have you back, brother. Saw your Facebook request, too. Appreciate it. Sweet. If you have any questions at all, ask them.
And then Clarence Everett says, OSU brother checking in.
Hey, there you go. Appreciate you guys. Gotta love it. Any questions? If you have any questions at all, make sure to type them in. Love it. All right. We're going to talk a little bit more. Appreciate you guys. All right. He said, I thought he said OSU.
I thought it was
OSU, like
college.
Like the college.
I think
Hey,
it's
Os back at you, brother. Appreciate you, man.
it says OSU.
Oh no, OSU. Os. He's saying Os.
Oh,
I thought you were
sorry.
talking like a wrestler.
Yeah.
I was thinking, okay.
I was like, I wrestled Nebraska, boss. I'm sorry.
How long is the webinar?
The webinar is gonna be like another 30 minutes. Right? It's like 30 minutes. It goes like sometimes we'll go over and go 45.
We need your questions.
Yeah, we need your questions to go over though. I have fun doing this. For me, this is fun sharing as much as I can. So you guys make it fun for me by asking questions, and I make it fun for you by giving you as much information as possible. Also, If you're already not subscribed to our Cerebral BJJ on YouTube, if you're not already subscribed, then make sure you subscribe, because these webinars are going to get posted to the YouTube channel as well, right? And so you'll be able to archive and see all the techniques that we worked on. You'll be able to see all the questions. So if you ask a question, you'll have a video recording of the answer to your question, which is pretty cool, I think. All right?
So we have a question.
Yes.
Mike Bushby says, with that second sweep to the slicer, could I see a different angle of your foot placement on the hip?
Yes, bro. Okay, so you're starting to key into something that's really important. The trick is in the transition from the stable hip to the instep. All right, let's show it from a couple of different angles for you, not just one other. All right, let's start on this side. All right, so when I'm here, look how I'm extending him out. You can even play this game, right, to make sure he's in the place you want him to be, right? So now that I'm here, all right, let's boom. All right. So now that I'm here, let's open up. So notice my foot is right here on the instep on his hip, and notice how it's like 45 degrees down. You know that striation that happens at the top of your thigh right here? My foot is kind of following that, is outlining that contour, right? It's right there. Now what I want to do is take the instep of my foot, and I want to form fit his hip on the other side, right? So if I started here, I'm going to put my foot, boom, right here. There's a barrier for him passing the guard. No barrier for him to pass the guard. But as he approaches, notice my heel comes to my butt. Boom. Right? It's really important. Let's go back and do it again. My foot is on his hip. It's a barrier. It's hard for him to move forward. He has to fight me. He feels like he has to fight to get it. I'm going to give it to him because it's a trap. Right? So I'm going to put the instep of my foot to the other side. Boom. Right? See how I am? And now look. As he approaches, I'm just going to bend my knee so that I'm underneath him. Look, see how I naturally will become underneath him, my knee facing up. He's going to be resting on my shin. And that's how I'll be able to get up. I want to punctuate a point real quick about order, like priority. Right? So let's talk about this. I would like to maintain control of his arm in most situations as I transition that instep. I don't do both at the same time. Here I am, I'm on this side. I'm going to transition, boom, to the instep. My partner's going to start passing, and now I'm going to let go. And with his hand, I'm going to get underneath his knee. Or I'm just going to grab the inside of his pant leg, or I'm just going to grab his ankle. All of those are the same, right? I'm going to grab either his knee underneath, right? Grab the side of his pant leg, or grab his ankle, right? All right, let's do that again. Here's the magic of all this passing game. Here I am on his hip. Can you see it? All right. Now I'm going to transition. See this foot? We're right here on his hip. I'm going to form fit the contour. And I'm going to bend my knee as he comes in. I didn't resist him at all, brother. Not even a little bit. I let him come in and now rest on top of my shin. All right. Now that he's here, I'm going to take him. I'm going to use my knee to bring him this way. This knee, take him 45 off. Right? As I do that, I'm going to open up my leg and lift him up off the ground. Boom. And here I am, sitting up. Did that adequately answer that question about the instep?
No more comments.
Okay, cool. What do we got?
So Gregory Hoyle says, will you go over the transition to I think omoplata. He says
Yes.
OMOP.
Yeah.
Yeah, omoplata.
Yeah.
And then Alex Matos says, Alex checking in, Coach Mikhail.
Hey, Alex, what's up, brother?
What's up, Greg? What's up, Alex?
Nice. See you guys. Make sure you type in your questions, guys. Make sure you type in your questions. Thank you again, everybody, for meeting us on the interwebs. Share some jiu-jitsu.
We have 10 attendees right now.
Nice. Very good.
All right, so Gregory Hoyle's question one more time is, will you go over the transition to omoplata? And Mike says, thank you, answered well.
Nice. Sweet. That's what I'm here for, brother. All right, so we had another question from Greg, right?
Yes, Gregory says, will you go over the transition to omoplata?
Yeah, for sure, 100%. Right? Man, there are quite a few different really awesome transitions to the omoplata from the leg lasso. I would say one guy who does it really well, I think he swept with it for like a year and a half straight, was Rafael Lovato Jr. Guy's fantastic. Another guy who does really well, Romelu Barral, has done quite a bit of awesome stuff with the leg lasso to that position, to the omoplata, and so have Kyle Terra, right? So if you guys are looking up some really good competitive clips, right? So there's a couple of different ways to set this up. Boom, right? So now that I'm here inside this position, right? Depending on how my partner sets his movement up, right? My partner starts to load up on top of me, right? Boom, right? As my partner starts to load up on top of me, I can, boom, I can start to invert, boom, and get control, right? Now that I'm here, it's just about finishing the omoplata. I prefer to get them up, right? Or kind of convince them that it's smart to stand up before I start to go for that as a prerequisite, right? Not requisite, but just to clean it up. Boom. All right, so now here I am. It's very important, guys. I taught about going on omoplata from the leg lasso not long ago, and a problem I noticed a lot of people had, the most common problem, is they were forgetting to let go of this arm. They were forgetting to let go of the far arm on the side where that hip I was controlling, right? And then all you need is this arm, right? The lassoed arm, right? So now I'm here, my partner stands up, all right? Now that I'm here, I can put my foot here, right? And I can start to go inverted, right? Transition from that hip to the other one, right? Here I am, look, I even snuck it through on that one, right? Now that I'm here I am, I'm inverted, I extend. In this situation, I like to triangle so that I can put a little extra bite on it, all right? I don't just like sit down, I boom, right? Does that make sense? When you have a standing opponent when you're going for an omoplata, sometimes just putting it down all gentle, nice is not, in my experience, can be a little tough, right, against a resisting guy, especially if they're strong and start looking up and all that stuff, right? So, quick thing, I triangle and rock forward, right? Pretty important. I'm gonna show it again, a little more quick time. Boom, boom. Boom, here I am, I have control. In the omoplata, all right, let's come right here. So in the omoplata, guys, let's go the other way so you guys can see at home. All right, so in the omoplata, he's ties on his knees. I was just actually teaching this technique in the last class I was teaching a few minutes ago, right? It's really important. He's up on his knees. It's important to make sure you try to break your partner down. A really important thing, let's go this way. A really important thing to add to that is to make sure you have pressure on his hip, bringing him this way, because I'm going to try to sit forward. I like to make sure I have my monkey grip on the inside of his thigh, right? And I'm going to, boom, I'm going to lay him down, right? Now as I'm here, I'm in a much better position. I consolidate my position, and it's a lot easier, boom, for me to get that position. I like to also, oh guys, it was really big. I also like to make sure I take this hand, he's not getting out right here. So I like to take this hand, come underneath, and grab his far lapel. Boom. All right? This is like one of my go-tos. All right? Let's change the angle so you guys can see on that. My elbow pressure is here. Boom. Look, my knees are this way. I tell my students always, it's like I'm reading a book, right? You're reading a nice little Hardy Boys, some Nancy Drew, whatever you read, right? Book. Here I am. I have control of his hip. I'm going to go underneath his head. And then grab that far lapel, right? There's my choke. There's my omoplata. All from that position. Greg, I know I touched on the omoplata a little bit extra and about that hip control and reaching through for the lapel. Hopefully that's sufficiently talked about also how to enter the omoplata from the leg lasso. Did it?
Gregory says, makes sense. Thanks for the coverage. I'm loving the leg lasso info.
Sweet. It's my pleasure. This is one of my favorite games to play, guys. I would say quick backstory. I used to, when I was a purple belt, I had this one guy who was a rival. He'd been beaten. I met him when I was a blue belt, right? And he was beating me up, right? I would walk through. I would a couple of the black belts. I would walk through the blue belts. I would have a little bit of trouble with the purple belts. And I would be back and forth with some of the brown belts, right? And then I got my purple belt. Yeah, yay, feels good, right? And then, but there was this one brown belt, right, who just kept working me, right? He just had to answer to everything I did. And the great equalizer for me was two things: leg locks and leg lasso. As far as leg lasso was concerned, it really threw his whole guard game off. He was a lot stronger than me, a lot bigger than me. As soon as I started to take his arms away inside of the leg lasso, I tried spider guard, and that worked a little bit. I started lassoing the arm inside of the spider guard, and then all of a sudden, man, I felt like our playing field was so much more even, right? The guy became a black belt shortly thereafter. He's a fantastic gentleman, but this was something that gave me extra edge on my frenemy, right? That one rival everybody has inside the gym, you know, that maybe he has your number a lot, right? Maybe he has your number half the time. This guy had my number more than half the time, way more than half the time, until I started leg lassoing him and applying more leg locks, right? So anyway, this is a little bit of background on why the leg lasso grabbed me inside of my personal history and why I think it's so important for you, right? Again, you're taking his arms away that he tries to use to control your legs and pass your guard. Yes.
So Alex Matos has a question. Matos has a question. Yes, is the bicep slicer legal in white belt level?
Okay, so that's a really good question. The bicep splicer is not legal for IBJJF, right? At the white belt level. But IBJJF is not the only show in town, and I believe bicep splicers are legal for Naga? In Nogi. In Nogi, they're illegal in Naga. And you can totally leg lasso with an exchanged grip in Nogi as well.
Yeah, you wrestled Alex. You got a good grip.
Oh, yeah. I remember meeting you face to face, man. Good guy. So the short answer to that, IBJJF in the gi as a white belt, bicep splicer, no. In no gi, yes, for most companies, and definitely for submission only. Let's for quite a few of them. I want to add something to this. So Alex, and for the rest of the guys, just because a bicep splicer may not be legal does not mean that you can't use the leg lasso and that you're automatically just splicing him by inserting the lasso. Don't let anybody tell you that. I fell for that when I was a blue belt, and it wasted some of my time, right? It's a legit guard. If the guy tries to tap inside of that position, then he's gonna get, then it's done for him. It's not gonna be a DQ for you, right? The lasso is legit. If, however, you're in a legit splicer where you're controlling both sides, or something like this, right? Then you're gonna get DQ'd. You're gonna get DQ'd, unless it's no-gi, right? Hope that answers that question. Any other questions?
Let me see. Mike, Bushby says, AGF and submission challenge allows slicers at white belt level.
Sweet. Love it.
Some of our attendees are Lynn, Clarence, Gabriel, Mark, Gregory, Carl, and Luke.
That's good.
So if anybody want to call any of these people out for
those are all first names. I don't know. I know a bunch of all those names. It's good. It's good to. It's good for everybody to be here. I'm really appreciative of everybody coming out. If you guys have any questions, make sure to type it inside the chat box, right? And I'll do my best to get them answered inside the time we have, right? I'm going to move on to another leg lasso subject that I think not enough people go over. This is pretty important, guys. Okay, especially for you advanced guard players, right? So once I'm here, we talked about setting up. I'm off on my side. Boom, I'm coming underneath, right? I'm in control. I have counter pressure here, right? Now my partner, more advanced guys, a lot of times they get here, they start trying to beat your leg and stand up, right? Boom. So now he stands up, right? So now, see how my instep right here is in his shoulder? Instead of doing that, I'm gonna reach all the way underneath, boom, and attack his knee. Everybody see that? Here I am in his armpit. I'm gonna come down and attack his knee, right? Now that I've come in and attack his knee, right, I'm gonna bring him in, right, into me, boom, and then lift him up, right? Now that I'm here, I almost knocked over the table, right? Now that I'm here, right, in this position is another awesome way, boom, to get to my splicer or to get to my sweep. All right, let's do it again. So guys, this is one of my leg lasso helicopters, right? Helicopter sweeps is one of my babies, right? Hit this all the time. It's very similar to an elevator sweep, but it is also very similar to a helicopter armbar that I first experienced training with Pedro Sauer, right? Another shout out to a fantastic ambassador of jiu-jitsu, right? And trainer and coach. Man. So here we are again. Boom. I set up. My partner stands up. And instead of staying here underneath his arm, where I'm losing some of the leverage, I'm going to transition, boom, underneath his knee, right? Now that I'm underneath his knee, I'm going to bring my knees into my body so that I can get his hips over my hips. Jiu-jitsu, so when I work with my students, I don't like to just teach them techniques. I want to teach them the algorithm, right? Not just like, oh, monkey see, monkey do, here's, I take this, I move that, I move that. I want you to start to know how you should be thinking in this position. In this position, in order to lift him up, even though he's like twice your size, you need to get your hips under his hips, okay? You need to get your hips under his hips, right? I need to get his hips above my hips, either because he made a mistake and he's trying to charge through like a bull in a china shop, or because I'm getting control and I'm bringing my knees into my body, right? So in this situation, I'm bringing my knees into my body, and now look, it's easy to lift him up. Now that I lift him up, I'm going to extend this far leg, and I'm going to release his knee. See this foot? I'm going to release his knee in the air, right? So here I am. I'm going to bring him in, right? I'm going to release his knee, boom, and come up, right? Now that I'm here, here's my splicer. Oh, by the way, since we have some guys who are asking questions from a white belt perspective, like Alex and whoever else would like to know, the splicers aren't allowed for them inside the IBJF tournament. Once I'm here, this is not the splicer, sir, right? He's not being spliced right now. How you doing, Ty? He's all good. There's other things I have to do to splice. It just doesn't turn. He's not going to just combust and burst into flames, all right? So what I'm going to do here is this is why this is legit at all levels. I'm going to take my hand. I'm going to cross face him. I'm going to take my other hand. I'm going to block his hip. Now I'm going to raise my hips and let his arm out. And now I'm in the side mount, right? While having both his hips blocked. So I'm blocking his access to the half guard. And I have his arm pinned, if you guys want to see what's happening here. His arm will be on the ground. I have it pinned, right? Which means that him rolling away, like a lot of wrestlers try to do, right? It's not going to happen either for him to turtle up. This is a really awesome setup. All that setup is 6 side mounts. Is there a question?
We have several comments.
Yeah.
So Okay, so we have 4 comments.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to go straight down.
Yeah.
Alex Matos says, Coach, on leg lasso, what happens if your opponent moves back and postures up? Mike says, at the end, I would appreciate seeing any flow drills you use to work on these techniques. Luke says, Coach, what happens when the opponent tries to be heavy and push into you when you get the leg lasso? And Gregory says, what actions can be taken when people defend the sweep by dropping their weight low and cross-facing after the initial pass from your guard in cases where we cannot do the biceps slicer?
Oh my gosh.
That's a lot of stuff.
Not only was that a lot of stuff, those were all fantastic questions. All right. So I'm gonna start with what to do. Let's start with this. Yes, I will gladly work on some flow drills. That's a great request.
It's Mike.
Towards the end. Thanks, Mike. I'm also gonna start to talk about what to do when somebody gets to the crossface, right? Can you please get that? Right. Sorry, somebody's phone's going off. But anyway, to that point, is it your phone?
Yes, that's my phone.
Oh man. Oh, Ty. All right. So anyway, doing shout outs on the internet. Right. So in this situation, let's talk about when he's getting a crossface. Let me make sure this is a good angle. Yeah, this is a good angle. Right. So here I am. My partner starts to pass, and he gets too far. Right? He gets too far. Now, if he gets too far and he's cross-facing me, oh man, this is not good. There's my bicep splicer, right? If the bicep splicer is not allowed, right, here's something to think about. I need to get this arm back to the other side and get control of his knee, right? I like to rock. Boom, I come up, and there you go. When I come up, boom, right? And now once I'm rocking, it's going to be easy for me. By the way, I can still, even though my knee is not under his body here, I can still do my sweep. I'm going to take my hand and I'm going to cup the instep of his ankle. Can you raise your ankle up? Boom, right here, right? And I'm going to open this knee up over here and raise his leg up. That's inside of a crossface situation. It's 2 options. Let me change the angle real quick so you can see how I grab the instep of that foot. This is legit, right? This is such a legit question. As you start training the lasso, this is gonna happen to you because you're gonna try to gauge, like, where am I safe? How far can I let him go inside of the pass, right? So let's go this way. So again.
This is Gregory's question.
Yeah. This is Greg's question?
This is Greg's question.
Okay. Gregory, thank you so much. Here he's starting to pass. Boom. Oh man, he somehow got past me, right? And bicep splicers are not available, right? For some reason, right? I don't care which one it is. Now I'm here. I have a couple of sweet options. Option number 1 is to rock, right? I want to rock so I can get this leg up, which means I'm not rocking this way. I'm rocking 45 degrees up towards this knee. I'm opening this knee in the hip, right? So I can start to rock. I'm not rocking to get him off of me. I'm rocking to get this leg, right? Whether it's his ankle because he brings his knee in to block my hips, bring it all the way and close the door. Boom. All right. Boom. Here I am. Right? See that? I've cupped his ankle. I start to open it. I send his leg straight up. Boom. And there I am. Let's go back. Inversely. Oh, this is a horrible decision for your part. This is a horrible decision. Guys, let's go back. I see people do this. Go back to no. You don't get to buy that back, right? All right. This is a horrible decision. A lot of people will do this and they'll try to go like reverse Kazuri Keisa, right? And the problem with this position is, right, is that it's easy for me, boom, to come on top by raising my leg and activating this leg on the other side of it. Boom. And coming over the top. I don't even have to hold on to that anymore. I can let go. And I don't know if you guys can see this reverse armbar. This is a sweet transition. This is definitely on my game plan list. If I go inverted from that position and I hit that reverse armbar, it's a money shot. All right, it's really good. All right. I hope that answered that question about what to do if they get all the way across and they're able to cross face you. I want to add something to that. Let's talk about some nifty ways to beat the leg lasso. All right, so Ty is going to leg lasso me in this situation. Boom. Uh-oh, right? There's a couple of cool ways, right? One way is I need to, instead of attacking his leg, let's turn. You guys can see, right? Instead of attacking his foot, I'm going to put my hand on his knee, right? Now that I have put my hand on his knee, right, I have a couple of options, right? One is, boom, I can hop over, right? Everybody see that?
That's a,
What is that, Ty?
that's a hip lock.
That's a hip lock, guys, right? Now Ty tries to send me over, right? His leg is stuffed. I'm grabbing onto his gi. He doesn't have the stuff
Tap, tap,
for me to drop this hip.
tap, tap.
That's my hip lock right there. Let's talk real quick about what's happening here, right? I'm doing like a baseball slide, right? Except I'm framing this leg, right here. And I'm dropping my hip. Now, because he's holding on to my arm on the side, he's just stabilizing me, right? It's really tough for him, right? This is a really mean submission, right, if it's available for you. Let's talk about some other options. Here he is. Right? Now, maybe that's not available to you, right? I can go around and go wrong side knee on belly, right? I'm going around, boom, right? Does that make sense, guys? Turning. All right, so right side knee on belly is the normal knee on belly. This will not save you. This will not save you. Exactly, look how he's getting me. He's gonna send me over. I wanna go wrong side knee on belly, right? And start to get his hips off the ground, right? Like right side knee on belly, right? He's gonna send me over. Send me over, Ty. Whoa. Right, pull me back over. All right. So instead, I go wrong side, boom. Wrong side knee on belly in this position, and I get control of his leg, boom, and I bring my leg out. My arm, rather, right? I bring his knee into his body, and I bring my own arm out. Then I can go right side knee on belly if I so choose. I'm going to show that again. I don't think anybody asked that question, but I think it's really important. So Ty puts me, uh-oh. Right, I'm getting control of this knee, getting it pinned to the ground, right? Now I'm coming around, right? Step, boom, boom. Look what else is available from right there. I can come all the way around. Now, I was recently training with Kurt Osiander not that long ago. I let out a DVD. If you go to cerebralbjj.com/30-second submit, right? You should be able to see it there. This awesome DVD full of awesome techniques, but we didn't just talk about the techniques that are in that DVD series. One of the things we talked about was another option that Kurt had, and a lot of his guys love, they love leg lassoing. If you ever had the chance to go to San Francisco and visit them, they're so welcoming, such like awesome guys, high-level guys, right? So here we are. Ty even went after me, right?
Yes, sir. All right, yeah. Man, Kurt's place is awesome. Really nice, friendly folks. A lot of great roles. And
Yeah.
man, a lot of mat space, but it was totally filled up. Definitely check out Coach Kurt's place.
Sweet. So here we are. Something he was talking about was going in the other direction, right? Right, so to relieve the pressure, boom, to come around, boom, and get my crossface. Something he was talking about, boom, he's on the inside, right? And I just go the other way, boom, and escape that way. I want to make sure that I touched on a couple of cool escapes that really have high mileage for me. What other kind of questions do we have?
We had Alex asks, Coach, on leg lasso, what happens if your opponent moves back and postures up?
If your opponent postures up,
He says, what happens if your opponent moves back and postures up?
posture.
It's typed posters up.
Just read the real word, boss.
That's what he says. Posters up.
I
Postures
don't
up.
know what posture is, Alex, but I know what posture is.
All right, postures up.
And so
It's written posters.
you're cracking me up, man. All right, so so here we are. All right. If my partner, you heard what the question was? All right, cool. So he's gonna start to posture up, right? So in this situation, right, all I have to do is push on his hip, and I can start to sit up my own self, and I can keep our proportions. So he tries to posture up, boom, right? And I get him back down, right? Also, don't forget, when somebody postures up, posture up, whoa, boom. All they're doing is helping my inversion, right? They're lifting me up so that I can spin, right? So just like trying to pick me up and yank me is all I have to do is keep my head together and invert. And they're gonna send me into a triangle, a sweep, or an omoplata, or an armbar. So I hope that answers that question. Any other questions?
Gregory says this was an awesome seminar! Exclamation mark.
Sweet. Thanks, man.
Okay, and then I think
Time check.
Luke,
Nathan?
9:47. So, and Luke says, Coach, what happens when the opponent tries to be heavy and push into you when you get the leg lasso?
Ooh, good question, Luke. All right, so you're the question, Tommy?
Yes, sir.
All right. So here I am. My partner tries to push into me. Huh? My partner tries to push into me. So thing one is that's why I had the foot out there in the first place to guide me, right? So I can manage our range. However, I choose, right?
Luke says, what happens when they drive into you and try to stuff your lasso?
Ooh, before I get the lasso in. Legit. All right, so you understand the question? Yeah. Cool. So here I am. So you see this? The problem is if he's starting to walk in the other direction before I get there, then I need to go put my foot back down on his hip, right? Because remember what happens if I can't get my foot in, he walks around. He just passed my guard, right? So let's talk about some like healthy boundaries, right, for you when you know that it's time to ditch it, right? And or not just ditch it and like never do it again, but like ditch it and reset to find your space again, right? Well, let's switch over here. All right, so boom. Now that I'm here, right? Excuse me. Before I get here, if I fail at getting my foot in, right, and he starts walking around, keep going. Guys, I'm only going to be able to hold on for a moment. This is where I'm going to mess my fingers up, right? He's out. I'm stuck. There's two important things we need to remember here. One is how to ditch it, and one is how to cheat, okay? First thing, right, is how to ditch it. If I feel like he's coming around me, boom, I put my foot back on his hip, okay? Does that make sense? If I feel like he starts to get too parallel or just past parallel with me, right? Not 45 degrees, that's too late, right? If I feel like he's like 15 degrees off of me, right? He's 15, start walking. Oh, no, right? I need to sink back, I need to line back up with him, right? It's very important. Now, there's another really cool thing. This is what I call how to cheat, okay? So here I am, right? He's gonna try to move around and stuff me. Look how I bring my leg in, tight to my body, right? You can even, right? Here I am trying to maintain my space, and he's moving around, start moving around. Boom. Grab my own leg, right, to get into that position. Luke, did that answer your question?
Let's take a second for him to hear that.
Sweet. I'll take one more question if anybody has one.
Well, Mike still says I would appreciate seeing any flow drills you
Oh
use
yeah,
to
thanks,
work on
Mike.
these techniques.
I appreciate it, man. Thanks for reminding me. All right, so there's a couple of really cool flow drills that we can do right here in this position. There's flow drills that are inverted flow drills.
With 3 comments
Okay.
as well. Luke says yes. Alex wants to know if this is going to be uploaded on YouTube.
Yes, it will be uploaded on YouTube, brother.
And Gabriel has a question about opponents flattening out. So
Okay.
do you want that question now, or?
I'm gonna handle Mike's.
Okay. So this is about flow drills.
Yes, this is about, right? So there's a couple of different flow drills that I like to do for you. I like to do submission flow drills, and I like to do inverted submission flow drills, right? And I also like to do some sweep drills as well. Because I have the arm inverting and flowing in and out of his legs, this is gonna be a little difficult, right? Because I'm kind of a stuck my own self because I've lassoed him, right? But what I like to do is work my game plan circuit. I also like to work sub, then sweep. So here we are, we're just gonna do a little bit of flow drill, all right? I'm gonna start to feed me things, all right? Yeah. All right. Boom, all right. Boom. 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 All right. Now, this is another one of my favorites, right? Because instead of just getting the omoplata, right? I can start to attack that forearm and bring that in as well. That's a cool little tidbit. This time, Ty is going to stay on his knees, and I'm going to show another really cool drill that's one of my favorites. In this drill, I'm going to go triangle and sweep. Right? Now, in this situation, I'm going to bring my foot across again like before. Boom. There's my triangle. I'm going to go back. And sometimes they try to defeat the triangle because they know it's coming or whatever, right? And so now he tries to defeat it. Boom. And I go for my sweep. That's another drill that I do, like an option drill. Hope that answers that question. I'll do lots more flow drills over time as well. Guys, thank you guys so much for coming out and supporting the Cerebral BJJ community as we grow. It's just a big mission of mine to give back any ways that I can. I just want to share what I have, and I appreciate you guys for being a part of that. We're going to be doing this like every Wednesday, right? It's going to be the same link. But if you see it on Facebook, make sure you share it. Let everybody know how you enjoyed it, and leave a review.
I'm going to be on the next one.
Yeah. Make sure I have a subject yet on for the next one, but what you can do is go to Cerebral BJJ on Facebook if you can. Go underneath the link that talks about the webinar, and I want you to ask for what subject you think should be the subject of the next seminar, of the next webinar, right? If you think it should be sweeps or arm bars, whatever your delight. And you guys are going to start to guide me and let me know what subjects our community wants to talk about. All right, cool. With that, guys.
Let them know how unique the webinar format is.
Yeah,
for just it's like a private lesson.
Yeah,
I
for
can
sure.
tell you.
No, I'm just reminding me to let everybody know about how unique this is to be able to have like a free webinar, like one-on-one, where you guys get to ask questions and stuff like that, which I think is really awesome. It's awesome for both of us. It's awesome for me to be able to share, and awesome for you to be able to receive the information and ask questions free, right? Anyway, guys, I look forward to seeing you every week. If you have not already looked at followed Cerebral BJJ Instagram, Make sure you do it. Cerebral BJJ Instagram, super important. Like I leave like sometimes 3 to 5 different really cool techniques on there a week just to share, right? With that, guys, keep training, keep growing. Os. See you next week.
Stop it.
It's off.